In a game with thousands of cards, what defines a card as the best? Well, in this video, I'm going to take what I think are the 5 current best non-easy ALRs and rank them for you guys. I'm going to be measuring them up against the hardest events in the game, and I'm also going to base my ratings off of their kits. I will be taking their leader skill into consideration, but it won't be a key factor, just an extra thing to look at. There are a lot of great cards in Dokkan, so it's going to be hard to only do 5, but to avoid making the longest video ever, I'm going to break my lists up and maybe even do a part 2 in the future. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe and like the video to let me know that you guys actually want to see more content like this. But a fair warning, this is my opinion, so if you disagree, let me know your list in the comments, or you can just attack me. I don't really care. I've got thick enough skin to take whatever you want to throw at me. So without further ado, let's get into the top 5 LRs in Dokkan Battle. Number 5. This is going to be the Blue Bros from the Worldwide Celebration. Even though I got shafted on them for over 2,000 stones, I still have love for them. But you have to hear me out on this. The reason they're number 5 is they have a phenomenal kit, but their guard only lasts 4 turns. Now, this isn't too big of a problem since they can transform on turn 5 with HP 70% or below, but the issue starts when you can't transform them and then you just feel like you're naked in a snowstorm, because either you have to hide them or pray their dodge kicks in. But that is literally the worst case scenario. In every other way, they're an amazing and worth running unit. They even have one of the best leads in the game, which is just an added bonus. They have a very versatile kit otherwise, and the devs probably knew this, which is why their numbers can be pretty low, but it's nothing to worry about since their kit offers great defensive options and still packs a punch on offense, especially when Vegito comes out. And literally, he just destroys everything in his path and doesn't ever cause you to game over. So if you are lucky enough to have them, they are great to use since the Worldwide Celebration literally brought some of the best cards in the game to the Future Saga category recently. The Blue Bros are such an amazing and fun card to use that they deserve to be less underrated. Moving on to number 4, we've got SSJ4 Full Power Goku. Let's put the hype aside for a second. He is definitely a GOAT, but the only reason he's not higher is because Omega isn't out yet on Global and there aren't enough long events for him to succeed and unleash his full potential. He can still take on Zamasu's red zone. It'll just be a bit harder to play him properly. Otherwise, he's literally a GOAT and has many amazing abilities. His standby is insane for defense, and his full power form is literally unquestionably the strongest thing in the game. It is like unkillable by 95% of the bosses in the game, and only sometimes gets KO'd by the Spirit Bomb Goku that does 3 million base damage from the Ultra Instinct event. He's an absolute monster when the full power SSJ4 actually comes out, but even without it, he's a great card. He doesn't really struggle in anything, and when Oob comes out, he's never going to be the cause of your loss. And fun fact, Oob and full power Goku can both tank Merge Zamasu's super, even with type disadvantage. So SSJ4 full power Goku is number 4, but is definitely the most sought after card in the game, and for good reason. Number 3. This is a tie between Tech LR Merge Zamasu and LR Future Gohan. These two are just insane tanks with huge potential for damage. If I had to choose, I would put Gohan over Zamasu only because he's on more teams and has better links, while also being able to build up and output insane damage while being an insane tank. Gohan never has key issues when I run him and almost always tanks everything. It's almost like he was made for the Merge Zamasu red zone. Zamasu is here because he's carrying the villain category as a whole on his giant sexy green back. He's an incredible tank with a great leader skill, good links, and can put out some great damage. His domain is even better. He basically is just invincible and does a bunch of damage while giving support to all the other extreme units on the team. These two cards are honestly so good that I can make a video about them alone. I love them both, but Gohan is the child that I love more out of the two, and I might do a showcase for him at some point later on. Next, we have number 2, and that is my baby girl Bulma. What more needs to be said? A lot of people consider her as the best unit in Dokkan, and I'm inclined to agree, but I have her at number 2, and the literal only reason for that is because she lacks categories. Honestly, she has no downsides, so I might even move her to number 1 because the teams that she is actually on are literally the best in the game. So honestly, screw it. I'm swapping Bulma to number 1. Number 2 is now Orange Piccolo, and it's just because he's still one of the best tanks in the game. He fits on so many teams, he does so much damage, he offers a bit of support, and he even has a giant form for when times get tough. He is such an amazing card and has held up for so long. He's one of those cards that almost never causes you to lose, especially when he is fully built up, because he has like 600k defense and guard with a bunch of damage reduction. He's a must run on any team he can be on, and honestly a GOAT. Number 1 is now a tie between Bulma and the GT Duo, but Bulma is still above them because she's an unstoppable force and an immovable object, while the GT Duo is just an unstoppable force and gains defense from supers. We already know Bulma literally does everything that you could need a card to do, and her active is just a bonus that can heal you as well as increase damage and defense, and the rest of her kit is an amazing support and defense setup. She also does great damage and has some pretty great links for a Bulma card. She just functions so well and carries so many teams to victory. She's definitely the GOAT of Dokkan. Now, moving on to the GT Duo. They have so much damage and gain damage reduction on supers while having additionals built into their passive. So, besides already being an amazing card just based off that, they also have the best revive skill in the game, which I have talked about in this video currently on screen. When transformed, they give a bit of support to allies and also become a glass cannon to encourage the usage of the revive skill. The revive skill is literally Goku throwing a spirit bomb and then just coming back full health with Vegeta in case you didn't kill the boss just off that one insane attack. They're such an amazing card, so if you can still get them and don't have them, make sure to pick them up with the red coins or try to get them on the banners that they're out on right now. Anyways guys, that's about it for this video. Make sure to look out for these cards and try to get them all because they are amazing for the harder events in the game and are so much fun to use. I hope I've convinced you guys to stick around and maybe even subscribe. I've been growing a lot lately and I'm very grateful for all of your support, so I'm going to do my best to keep bringing you guys valuable and entertaining content. Thank you all for watching.